Okay. Yes, we are live. I have a new microphone. So I hope the sound works well. I suppose it does because it's a really good microphone. But give me feedback if you want. Please say something in the chat. Say something, uh, whichever way you can connect here. Welcome to the stream. The live stream every Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. Dutch time. And yeah, yeah, it's just wonderful. Okay, and if you want to call and talk with me live, you can do this by Skype, and you can write me a message that you would like to chat or to talk. Nobody will see you. You can do this through Skype. My Skype address is live, and then we can talk. It's that simple. So that's the idea. And I will be speaking, or I will be reflecting on life, on love, on our deep, beautiful, awake nature, and everything that appears for us, everything that happens for us. So please feel welcome and join in also in the chat if you like, if there's others that you feel like to connect with, because maybe you just want to connect with others, and that's also great. You can all do it here for the next hour. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late, but I was doing something very exciting, so now I'm here completely devoted to this. And tonight I'll speak about that you don't want the truth. It's very difficult to accept or to see the truth. So you want a fairy tale. The mind wants to keep believing in the fairy tale that the mind just makes up. And that's also wonderful. I mean, it's no problem. Fairy tales can be very, they can be very tingling, inspiring, exciting, but they can also have the other side effect, which is giving you a lot of stress, a lot of expectations, and because of the expectations, it will, or it might give you also um, the suffering that comes with it. Because fairy tales are beautiful, but when you grow up, as we do, as we actually don't grow up, we look like adults, but inside we mostly feel like frustrated little children, and then we just want to keep believing in the fairy tale that maybe we were told when we were young, when we were little, when we were small children. But it's time to wake up and see that that fairy tale it still will continue, but you can turn it around, you can change your perspective, you can start to see that it is a fairy tale, but it's not a fixed thing, it's changing, it's continuously developing, like I am developing, like everything is it's just a continuous dynamic of brilliant ideas, very stressy ideas, very challenging life events that are happening for you, and then you can also get like imaginative ideas, fairy tales about what's going to happen next. How can I fix this? How can I fix the situation? How can I fix myself? All these dynamics, everything. And when you are new here on the live stream, it's nice when you say like, hi, I'm from Australia, or I'm from Rotterdam, or I'm John, I'm living in The Hague, or in London, because then we can get to know each other, and we can also get an idea of where everybody that is joining the live stream is from, because you know, YouTube and the whole online world is so unpersonal. It's so anonymous, and it's nice to get to know each other a bit. And this week, this Thursday, I'll be giving an event. It's like a satsang, but then with my creative style and ideas. It's called Conscious Circus, and you can join this every 2 weeks on Thursday evening from 7:30 until 9:30. If you want to join this, write me an email to mailme@liehogenberg.nl. And also, if you want to speak with me one-on-one, you can do this also by writing me an email when you would like to do this, or you can check out my website. Oh yeah, is the audio fine? Hello, Annabelle. I'm sorry I didn't answer your email yet, but I understood that you are busy with many things and really intense, so I really completely understand if this is not the moment for you now to join the group session, because that's what I forgot to mention. We also have every 2 weeks on Friday. Next Friday, it's also on my website, but next Friday, the 29th of November, you can join an online, intimate, like private group session with some other people, and then we can speak openly about whatever topics that you would like to share or that you feel like connecting about. So that's also an opportunity to be more involved and to connect. So, but great, Annabelle, that you're here. I hope you're doing okay, and yeah, it's lovely to have you, and I'm sending you lots of strength. So which fairy tale is happening for you? Which imaginative story is happening? Oh yeah, the interference with the mic. I think it's because of my computer, probably. Okay. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, maybe this works. Anyway, I think, yeah, the interference is because of my computer. Thanks, Annabelle. It looks like I'm wearing a red sweater, but it's actually really bright and pink. I don't know if you can see it, but it's it's really pinkish. Anyway, it's really funny. Um, it's very interesting to experience and to also observe how difficult or challenging it is for lots of people to give yourself a break and to rest or just stay with what is going on. There are all these mechanisms that the mind and the body-mind dynamics have adapted to to survive the day, today, now, this moment. And the breath is like the breath is influenced, the heartbeat is influenced, the movement of the brains is influenced by this restlessness, by the search. The search for this beautiful fairy tale that's going to finally fulfill you and solve all your problems and give you inner fulfillment and joy and forever love, feeling loved, and forever that you can just be yourself. Just being yourself, it seems so many times such an effort, like it's something that you have to do your best to be yourself. But the opposite is true. The less you do, the less you know, the less you need, everything just is and appears as it does. Effortless. The effortlessness of your being, your presence, your beauty. And it's not something that you can gain or get or obtain. It's actually something that you can lose. You can lose the idea of this fairy tale that you have about yourself or that you have about a future picture in your mind. And in losing this, your system, everything that goes on, just opens. It's able to just experience without the need to fix it, without the need to do anything about it or change it or realize something. Because love isn't in realizing something, or true happiness isn't in obtaining something or changing something. It's in just it's just in the way you are. Just that simple. That can be sometimes a tough nut to crack for a person that seeks something, someone that is convinced that it's in knowing life, or it's in getting the way it is, getting the way it functions. I know that when I was in my puberty, like 17, 18, until now actually, I've never been like an intellectual, intelligent personality. I'm intelligent, very intelligent, but more on the emotional intelligence level. And I'm very creative. I have a very creative mind. But I've never been into knowledge. Maybe, maybe also because unconsciously it's very possible that there also happened some kind of a contra reaction, because my father, he was like really from the old traditional schooling. I mean, he studied, he was an engineer. All the friends that he had, they were all from his study. So he was everything. Everything was about knowledge with him. So knowledge became like, he was like overwhelming us with knowledge. Especially me, my sister, but also my brother and my mom. And 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 it was just, well, I know that I'm not that kind of character, but also I think it's just really like and so this and that, it's all, everything is just, we are all influenced by with our environment. So what I was saying is that I was never into knowledge, intellectual knowledge, which I didn't mind really, but I my best friends and also my ex-partner, um, they are all pretty intelligent, also intellectually in a way, and knowing a lot of things. And then sometimes I was really wondering why I would have these people around me. But also, I thought by myself, like, yeah, okay, it's very nice that you know this. I know this too. I know it too, but in a different way, not intellectually. So I could say, yes, I know what you mean. I absolutely understand it. And if he would be talking about Blavatsky, the philosopher, or Goethe, or other very intelligent people, intellectual people, then I didn't know, because I didn't really know, because I didn't read their books. But I knew the core of what was being said. I understood the psychology and the intellect of the emotional intelligence of the essence of what was being said or researched. So I could say, yeah, well, I didn't study any of these books, but I know what you mean. I completely can feel, I can understand what's being said, and then I thought, well, yeah, that's me. So I kind of was I was not fighting this. I was just like, well, I rather observe nature, like nature, um, outdoor nature, like trees, bushes, plants, animals, birds, insects, and all that, which I did from a very young age. Then I learned lots of things about life and about what's really, yeah, essentially interesting, like fascinating. It was fascinating to me. Then that I would go and, you know, start reading intellectual books. And in this world, the focus is mostly very, very much focused on intellectual intelligence and cognitive behavior and techniques. Um, and um, and I think that's all also fascinating, but it's also a handicap. It can become a handicap when the focus is on gaining information, like knowledge, and putting it into use to control things, like the things that we mostly put this knowledge into use for is to um, avoid fear, like research of scientists or like research for medical research. It's all to avoid illnesses, it's to avoid death, it's to avoid suffering, but yeah, or mental suffering or physical pain, suffering in that sense. So it's many times, I'm not saying there's just only that happening, because knowledge also is put into use for creating beautiful new techniques to to make sustainable ways for living or things like that, like creating solar energy and all these things. But many times knowledge is focused on preventing death and fear, and yeah, it's very interesting. And also, I don't know, I forgot. I forgot what I wanted to say. Hey Anne! Nice, you're finally here again. I missed you. I spoke about you, I don't remember, like 2 weeks ago or so. But I really missed you. How are you? Are you okay? Yes, we're talking about the dream. Yes. Okay, so if you want to talk with me live, just anybody that's watching now, You're most welcome. You can do this through Skype. My Skype address is BGLive, and we can talk. Hey Marcus, nice in the chat. Oh, I'm glad, and you're good. Oh, you had guests. Yes, you have a host. I know you have a guest house. I don't know what was I saying, Annabelle. I I don't know what you mean, but I was saying a lot, so. um, I want to share something. Oh shit. Okay. Hmm? Oh yeah. Okay. Um, I know Marcus, you're here online, and I wanted to use your text uh, on the streaming, but if you are okay with it, because you said it was okay, I want to read it to the others. Okay, so I don't know anything in this moment. I'm just here, and that's how it always has been. And I don't know how it's going to be, but I'm just here. And it's most confronting to accept this, to be just here in this moment, and to know nothing else, and to leave it open. Do you think it is enough to just feel these confronting emotions? I think that's really beautiful that you experienced this and that you can write so honestly about it. Um, because you're expressing what lots of people, I think, even without knowing, that is what they would really long to experience. But it's not something that you can force to happen. It's really something that really happens. But it helps when you learn to observe yourself and see how you're conditioned, and to see that, to observe your sensations and also your mind, the dynamics of your mind. If you realize, if you recognize the body-mind dynamics, and that you experience also that there are repetitive thought patterns about yourself, about that's maybe something that's happening is not good, or you are not good, or the way you feel it's challenging and you would like it to change, then space, there comes more space in your experience. And that can be very helpful. It can give you a different experience, a more open experience. But this open experience can also be very confronting. It can be very fiery, like vulnerable, like, naked, like, I have the feeling I can't hide anything anymore. I can't hide my insecurity because it's just being felt. I can't hide my anger or my sadness because uh, um, yeah, it's just here, and I'm not trying to push it away. And I'm feeling very overwhelmed with this feeling, like you just describe it. Not knowing, it's kind of it can be. I'm not saying it is for everyone, but it can be this very, very strong sensation of a free fall, of an illusionary free fall in a way. Because once you wake up again into your awakeness, and the attachment to your identity, or the fairy tale or the imagination, drops. It's not that you actually see really with your eyes. It's really energetic. It's all energetic. And for me also, what I experience lots of times with many things, with many things, even with food and things like that, which makes total sense, is that I'm always more drawn to real energetic experiences. Like, for example, I'd rather have something to eat that gives me the feeling like I'm really eating something that is alive, like fresh ingredients, than that I will buy something like from a can, or from something that's already completely ready to eat. You can just warm it up or whatever. And that also is in conversations. Like, I rather have a real conversation, just one-on-one, that is really going to, that I really feel a connection, or even just sitting with someone, or just being with someone, or playing with children or something like that, because that there's less attachment to this fairy tale, to this identity, then that I would, you wouldn't see me being around people that are only very much on the superficial layer. I mean, I like to play a little bit with, just chatting, and, in that sense you can say it's superficial, but some intensity, some energetic resonance that for me is that's attracting me. I mean, I'm not saying that's for everyone, but that's for me important in my life. I feel alive with this. It gives a resonance that feeds me, it nurtures me, it lifts me. There's this recognition. It's just something that fits. I saw this really. There's a lot of chatting here. Natural intelligence, yes. Emotional. Whoop. Emotional intelligence is better than intellectual powers. Yes, that's Annabelle. And says also studying knowledge which is mainly used to prevent disease. This was what I was saying before. I guess we are studying how to focus on health mentally and physically. Yeah. We try to delay death and suffering through our intellectual pursuits. Yes. Yeah, absolutely, Annabelle. Medical research, etc. Yeah. A shift in focus. Annabelle likes what you said, what you wrote, Marcus. Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. So, do you guys want the truth, or do you want a fairy tale? Come on! I think you all want a fairy tale. I'm sure. I love fairy tales. I do. I love fairy tales. I love Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, of course. I'm Tinkerbell. I'm very much Tinkerbell. I love Peter Pan. It's just so much the fairy tale of my heart. It's just so resonates with me. It's my imagination and all that, and the Lost Boys, and the way the children go along with Peter Pan, and the adventures and everything, and Neverland. When I speak with people, I don't relate really to this world. I think that most of the time I'm living in Neverland, and many other people are not living in Neverland, but they're living in Nowhere Land. They're living like in the Twilight Zone, and it makes me sad. It makes me sad to see there's so many people that are so stuck. They're so identified with their yeah with their limited beliefs, with their boring fairy tales, because maybe it's not a fairy tale, but something that's just so uninspiring, so stuck. The, the density of the mind, the rigidness of beliefs, and that's also energetic. Because many people, I'm absolutely not saying, guys, that you are like this. I don't think so at all. But there's people out there, and I'm sure you know some that are they're so stuck in the idea that they are their thoughts. I saw a friend of mine showed me a very nice YouTube channel, something Mr. Moore, I forgot his first name. And he makes very nice, very beautifully edited videos. And he went out on the street asking people if they were their mind, if they thought if they were their mind. And that was in London, like everywhere out on the street he was interviewing people and asking them this. And then most people said, yeah, of course. Yeah, why would you even ask yourself this or doubt this or reconsider this? Yeah, I'm my mind. I'm pretty sure I'm my mind. So yeah, most people they don't even question any of these things. It's very brave and very courageous when you do question this and when you start to ask yourself, yeah, but you know, who am I really? Who am I in this dream? Because it's still a dream. It's a dream in 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 a dream. Oh, would you like me to read it again, Annabelle? Marcus's text? Okay. Okay, I will. I will for you. Good morning, Lee. So, I don't know anything in this moment. I'm just here. And that's how it always has been. And I don't know how it's going to be. But I'm just here. And it's most confronting to accept this. To be just here in this moment. And to know nothing else. And to leave it open. Do you think it is enough to just feel these confronting emotions? Mm. Yeah, it is. It's very intense. Just to allow yourself to not, that nothing is really important except just to what happens now. Not to validate or to be busy with what happens or how or when. Anyway, there is no linear time. Linear timeline is an illusion. It's just there's only movement and change of life and death, of energies exchanging. I mean, how is it possible that you can walk on the street, you go in this direction, and on the other side of the road, and there are some cars going in between, and you can, even though you're walking and the other person is coming the other way, you can have a connection with the other person, no? You can sense something. I don't know. We don't know what it is. But I'm telling you, it's love. It's just love. It's unexplainable. It's this beautiful, energetic presence that's just here. And that's also the beauty. And that's why sometimes I feel like, yeah, I feel this is an impossible mission. Mission impossible. Least mission impossible. Because, speaking about mystery is is impossible. And also why we don't want to know mystery. We are mystery. And the only thing that happens is that we experience it. It's just happening right now through us, through this open view, this that we can't sustain, that we cannot even name other than God or love or oneness. It's all just a happening. I mean, yesterday, all of a sudden this thought rises in my mind, like, oh yeah, I really have to answer this person. I have to write an email to this person. But I didn't write this down that I had to do this. I was not busy with that at all. That thought just came, and I thought, yeah, so I'm going to do this. Or I wrote down, okay, I have to email that person. But who can explain why that thought rises? Out of the blue. Or that you feel like, I really have to, I want to call my friend in New Zealand because it just comes up. It's like an impulse. We are basically a package of systems that function like automatically, and then impulses, thoughts. Yeah, it's people like Annabelle, probably much more about this, about the physical function and everything. But it's mainly just a machine, and there's this impulses and instinct and also intuition and thoughts and the whole combination. And it's all mysterious. But we think that we know, and we learn. I think that the beauty of our human being, the, the intelligence and the possibility to observe, analyze, uh, and be fascinated by things, is that we learn. And so that when we do something like we burn our finger on something when you're cooking, then you know, okay, this I'm not, this was very painful, so I'm not going to do it again. Or when you were in a relationship and you were very much in love and you were very much um, devoted to this relationship, but you were just not happy, and you tried to make it work, you tried to fix it, but it didn't go. So in the end, you were separating. And so it can happen, but it can also, doesn't mean that it won't happen again, but it can happen that you learn from this and that you really feel like, I never want to be in such a relationship again. So you learn from this, and because you can experience things that you grow from, that you internally or practically grow from. And then we can become human beings with more integrity and with more empathy and with creating more pleasure or comfort in our lives, and also with more respect towards ourselves and towards others, which indirectly creates a better world, which is you are the world. So the ability of us humans to reflect and to learn is amazing, and it's beautiful. I think it's fantastic. And I see it very much that we are still very much these children, because children love to learn. They love to learn and to learn something, a game, or learn language, or learn, they just create without any efforts, mostly. I think that's our true nature. We are very eager to learn and to be fascinated and to observe life and to grow. And we can always grow, we will always grow. And Marcus says, thanks for sharing. Nice to be here with you all. Annabelle says, well, we just make up scientific theories and they're just stories. Yeah, we really have very little or next to no idea about consciousness. Yes, I agree. But there are always people are changing, always people are learning, so that's also beautiful. You are one of them, Annabelle. That's great, no? It's all just stories that attempt to pin down the mystery. None of it is the truth. There is no truth, says Anne. For us. We are projectors of experiences and subconscious things. If it was easier to focus, I would be happier. Yeah, I know, and would be different, no? I completely understand that. But I also learned to live with my very creative mind that every time thinks of new ideas, and I can find fulfillment in that, even if it's not for very long. Doesn't matter, you know. If you can accept that we are this childlike, or in some characters like you, and which I completely recognize are more like that and others are less like this, then that's just what it is. My mom is like that. She's an artist, and if I look at what different kind of styles of art she has been doing her whole life, she's 84 now. It's amazing, it's incredible, so talented. But she just was doing one thing for a period of time, and then she changed, and then she changed, and then she changed. But it was always expression into a form, a shape, art, an art form. And that's, I think, to me, life is an art form, which is every time continuously creating and destroying. But we hold on to it. We want to grasp it, to obtain it, to keep it. But it's more like what the Buddhists do. They make this beautiful, beautiful sand mandalas, these round mandalas on the floors of their shrines. And then they work days on it, weeks, I don't know, even months. And then they, you know, they wipe it away. They clean it. It's done. Its thing. Its function or it's whatever. And then it's gone. That's what it is with everything. But we attach. The attachment makes us suffer. It would be so good for us if we would learn to, when we get something, to, yeah, let it go. I mean, when I was younger, I also was very much holding on to little things that were kind of significant for me, that were important to me, that had a value, or usually some kind of nostalgic thing. But I also learned in life to really let go. And that can be in practical ways, but also actually it affects you both. When you let go of more practical things like material things, and you just, yeah, you give less on for them, or you give it away, or you give it to the second-hand shop or whatever, then also it affects you, your system, because it's all energetic. So it clears up also your, yeah, the way you relate to yourself. When you clutter on and you hold on to everything, and everything is like important, valuable to you, then you become also more inflexible. You know, it's, my father was like that. My father was a hoarder, and yeah, he was a very enthusiastic, very eager man, and beautiful also, but also he was very inflexible and very grumpy and very stubborn and holding on to everything. And this was also based on fear, fear for life or fear for death, both. Many times fear for death. Annabelle says, why do we get so obsessed with creating dogma around mystery? Yeah, I don't know. Something to do. Smoke and mirrors. Yes, focus on what I want and have no experiences creating fear. Yeah. It says, and then boom, I create my own reality. Yes. And also, it's hard to let go. Yeah, Marcus also says it's hard to let go. Especially for earth signs. Well, maybe, yeah. Maybe that's true. Yeah, earth signs, maybe they do have more difficulty with it. Could be. Well, I'm not earth, I'm fire and water, so it was difficult for me too. I think it's, many people have this. Grounding activities, meditations can help with letting go. Yes, definitely. Gardening, breathing, Dancing, I love dancing. Yeah, it all can help because you get out of your mind and all that. And says some people, generally the people less conscious, do let go easier, but they aren't happier because they are so confused. They don't know what hits them. Yeah, can be. Hmm. Okay, guys. Well, it's nice thing going on here. Um. Yeah. It's lovely to have you. We have we have England, we have Germany, we have Arizona, and some other people that they still want to stay anonymous. So do we keep the fairy tales or not? Yeah, what about it? Tell me, Annabelle. Yeah, yeah. Just create your own. Yes, please. Okay, sweet, beautiful people. Um, See you soon next week, or if you want to come to the Conscious Circus next Thursday, 7:30 to 9:30 here in Leiden. If you are in Holland, you're most welcome. Just write me an email. Um, and also for the group streaming, the exclusive group streaming in 2 weeks. No, not in 2 weeks. Next week, Friday, from 8 until 9 p.m. Dutch time, the 29th of November. But just check it out also on my website. And see you all soon. Much love. Thank you for all for being here. And uh, yeah, it was great. Okay then. Bye bye.